I shaved yesterday.
Well, clearly you didn't. So what did you shave?
No. I don't like bald. It's not my thing. You need a little something.
Yeah.
If it looks like Dobby's down there, it's like, nah.
Like a hairless cat.
Like a hairless cat. Like, no.
Welcome to Not So PG. I'm Brooke. My pronouns are she and her.
I'm Matty Mills. My pronouns are he and him.
Right at the top of this episode, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land in which we record this podcast on.
And for me, that's the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
And for me, that's the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. All right, Matty, let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, so there has been a lot that has happened over the last little while. We had such a good few days together. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, let's do a compliment sandwich with the opener, okay? Let's talk about all the positive things, then we'll get into the bullshit, and then we'll wrap it up with some more positive stuff.
I am loving this. Okay, well, what's the first compliment sandwich?
Okay, so we obviously spent a few days together. You came to Sydney and we hung out. We had some great times. We got to literally just live our best lives for a few days. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I honestly had the best weekend. We hosted our first ever gala night together, which was fun, such an experience, but also kind of overwhelming being our first thing live, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It was massive. It was the Peace Foundation Week Gala, and it was 800 people in a room without walls. So if you're a host and you're trying to keep the crowd entertained and your room doesn't actually have walls, it's really hard when there's only 40 people, let alone 800 people. But we did a really great job. We looked really good. We were dressed by the one and only Paul McCann, and he's a beautiful First Nations designer who hooked us up with an incredible outfits that really matched the theme of the gala. We were all in white.
Yeah, we looked like we were getting married, which we made that joke, obviously. And I have said, if I don't find anyone, that I'm just going to have your children. We've already decided that. Yeah,
we've got that in a contract. If we get to a certain age and we don't have these kids, we'll just have kids together. We'll be great parents.
Oh, I honestly, for now,
they'll just have stepdads and stepmoms, and it'll be great.
Living their best life, blended families to next level.
Brooke and Matty have a child.
Oh, could you imagine?
That'd be cute.
I mean,
it'd be a beautiful baba.
Oh, it would be. It absolutely would be. And you know what?
Yeah.
I always wanted a black baby, so.
Well, look, if we had that massive night on Friday night. We only finished work at midnight, and then we decided to go dancing. And but it wasn't for a long time. It was for a quick time. We were out for about 3 hours, and we got a lot done in that time.
I mean, 3 hours is enough for me. You know me. I actually am just such a sleep queen. And then bloody hell, I am so shit at dancing. So I just dance.
As if you are.
No, I just dance for fun. And you know this. You know that I just I love dancing and the movement. But what I think that I look like to what I'm actually doing is not the same.
You know what I love about this? Live in that fantasy, girl. Live in the fantasy. Don't look in the mirror. Just pretend that you're having your moment and live in that moment.
We did. When I was looking back at the weekend, I honestly had the best weekend, and especially with everything that's going on in my life at the moment, I was I needed that.
Yeah.
So we went Friday, we hosted that gala night. Saturday, we just chilled out. Sunday we
had a zen moment.
Well, yeah, Sunday we went for a beautiful walk and then went to a pub in the afternoon, and that turned into a really good night as well.
Yes.
And then we presented an award at the Podcast Awards. So it's been busy. It's been a bit chaotic.
It's so funny because we were the fourth award of the night at the Australian Podcast Awards, and unfortunately, due to the weather in Melbourne, the planes weren't able to take off or land in Sydney as well. And some of the recipients didn't make the awards, and one of those recipients was the Best Indigenous Podcast Award, which went to Hi, I'm Eddie, and basically we were on stage, we presented the award, we didn't have any intel that they weren't coming up to present. But once I realised that, you know, the recipient wasn't in the room, I just said, you know what, well, if one of us wins, we all win, and Brooke and I will take this award.
I honestly thought they were running on blackfella time. I was like, these mob taking a long time to come up. Like, I was like, where are they? Like, looking into the crowd. And then when you said that, I was like, bravo.
You know why? I was like, we have 30 awards to get through, and if we're standing here for another 20 seconds, then we're going to get clapped off because people want to get through this. So I was like, I better say something. But look, it was a genuine thing. I think that when one of us does win, or when one of us is elevated on a platform, our whole community responds. So it's like, congratulations to Hi, I'm Eddie, but also to the other incredible nominees in that category. And Mitch Churi was an incredibly funny host. He really was great. I was like, okay, this is goals. I'm listening. I'm taking on some. I need to be more funny. I'm good at, like, you know, speaking. I just need to be more funny.
See, my funny is like being self-deprecating.
Okay.
And so I don't even try to be funny. I just I will like take the piss out of myself. I don't take myself too seriously, which then takes me to obviously the challenge, which I took serious, but I didn't take too serious. Like, I was like, I don't know, blending in the background, basically. And so it was a double episode.
Not the last episode that I saw, you were giving boss bitch vibes, like, do not tell me what the fuck to do. I was like, okay. I was like, yes, B. You're like, I know where I stand with you. That's fine. I know exactly where I stand with you. And I was like, yes, give it to him.
And then he left. Bye-bye, David.
You're like, I know where I stand with you, and I know where you stand. Out the door, bye.
See ya. No, I think the hardest thing, I just take the piss out of myself. I don't take myself too seriously, but in those environments, it was just so hard. But also, like, I don't think I was like ever really respected in the house, and I think, you know, me. Okay. You know me. Respect is everything. Like, respect your elders. Respect community members that have contributed to, like, doing good things, you know what I mean? And respect people who are good people.
Yep.
And I just felt like everything in that house is just, like, the opposite of what I was taught. It's, like...
It seemed pretty toxic.
Backstabbing. It's, like, going, you know, against one another. It's, like, manipulating one another. It's gaslighting. And I'm like, ew.
Yep.
Yeah. That was so 2000. Like, we've gotten rid of that. Like, it's yuck energy.
Yep.
And so I promised myself that I would be better at just accepting that that's what people do, but it's not what I do. It's not what I do.
Yeah.
Bitch.
And good. Like, you I tell you this all the time. You're one of the people that are themselves, that are their most authentic self 100% of the time. And I think, like, that's your superpower. You didn't shift anything. Like, you didn't change who you are to sort of suit a certain reality TV mold. When you can see that people go on there, have a strategy in their head that they need to be the drama. You know, when Taylor Swift says, "Hi, I'm the problem, it's me," it's like, yeah, they need to be, like, singing that song on repeat. Like, obviously they're the issue.
It's me.
It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. I had a couple of incidents at the Arias Awards that went down, and it was just like such a great night. I'd been working all afternoon for Sony Music, and I'd been having, like, an incredible afternoon. And then I got to the Arias Awards at around 5:30 p.m. and did the red carpet. And I specifically had connected with Barker to do the red carpet with Barker because I've done this a million times. I know what they're like. I know how big these things are and how, like, exhausting it can be. And so I wanted to be there for her and, like, be her hype man, right? So, like, we had a time slot that we were doing the red carpet together, and that was at 5:30. And she owned it. Like, I really didn't need to be there once I knew that, like, once I felt her energy and how like proud she was of what she was, who she was representing, what part of the music industry she was representing. It is really one of the first female First Nation rappers in our country, and to be at a show like the Arias Awards and to be up for two of the biggest awards for the night, and I was so proud of her, and I felt like she should have been celebrated. But unfortunately, there was an incident that really undermined her success, undermined who she is as a First Nation artist, and also undervalued her contribution to the evening. And it was a really awkward situation where she was mistaken for another woman of colour. on the red carpet, and a photo went out that showed another female artist of colour, and under it said that it was Barker on the red carpet. So they absolutely got it wrong, right? So she was getting screenshot after screenshot after screenshot sent to her phone while we were like basically in a holding area ready to go in, and we're having the time of our lives until these photos kept on being sent to her, like screenshots. Oh, they've got it wrong. They've said that you are that this person is you on the red carpet. It's absolutely not. So there was no photo of Barker that had been put up online that was showcasing who she was or what she was wearing and her pride. Right? It was all mistaken for somebody else, and she was really offended by this, and it wasn't her who called out any of the publications or the photographers or the people that may have had a role to play in this. It was actually the artist who she was mistaken for. So the artist that was mistaken for Barker was Pania. And she is another incredibly successful artist and looked amazing. Like had a vibe, had her own look, and was but it's not a compliment to be mistaken for someone else, and it's not an isolated incident. I find that this is just It's just highlighting the issues within the Australian media landscape, that there are First Nations artists out here killing it, but they're still undervalued and their names are not known. But that was one of the many moments at the ARIA Awards that I realised, as a First Nations person in this space, I'm going to see and hear things that I need to confront. And I've put myself in this position. I am a part of the media, and if I hear things that I don't like, especially at out in public or at events, I can't help but to speak up. There's something about myself and my heart and my body that becomes too impassioned to not say anything. So the second incident that happened is that the Wiggles won Best Australian Live Act.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we were all like, yeah, so cool. Like, there's such a new generation of love for the Wiggles. They've obviously been like absolutely killing it, but they've got this incredible new diverse cast, which is a celebration of what this country now is, right? It's a diverse country. We have people from all different walks of life and communities, and I think the Wiggles are doing a great job at representing that. So Chae gets up, who is a great talented member of the Wiggles, and she's like basically the face of the Wiggles these days. She's the one of the frontliners, and she accepts the award, and everyone's with her, the whole team, the whole cast, and she starts to speak and accept the award and say how important it is for the Wiggles to be winning this award at this point in their career, blah, 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 blah. And I overhear these two ladies standing next to me, and one of them says, why is she accepting the award? It should be Anthony Wiggle. Give the trophy to Anthony Wiggle. And her friend turns to her and goes, it's because she's black, duh, but they need to keep the politics out of this. And then her friend goes, I agree. And I just turned to them and I was like, excuse me, I just heard exactly what went down here and like heard the conversation, and then went on to explain to them how important positive representation is and how incredible it is to see a young black woman accepting this award. And their response was, well, he should be talking, Anthony Wiggle, because he's been in it for years. And as they said that, Chae introduced him, was like, please welcome Anthony Wiggle, to sort of wrap up the acceptance speech. And so all I said to them was, and she just introduced him, of course she's not taking a moment away from someone, but this moment is rightfully hers, and rightfully she represents the new cast of the Wiggles. Like, why are you so threatened by a young, successful black woman accepting a trophy?
I completely agree. I can't believe this has all gone down at the Arias. I thought it was a celebration of like Australian artists, and we're still having to defend ourselves even in those celebrations. Like, it's shit, and those people obviously are the the group of people that will never change. They'll never understand what it's like to be First Nations and what maybe the true history of Australia is and the truth.
Yeah, and I always go into these conversations, go into these interactions with a motive to educate and not to tear someone down. So when I said to them, I heard everything that you said, and this is why it's important, I actually thought that they might have come to the table and said, well, thanks for explaining that. I didn't look at it that way. No, they doubled down, defended themselves, and wanted Anthony Wiggle to be the star, which he is. Like, good on him, but like just...
But the old boy's getting old. He's like, the younger generation's going to be coming through now. Like, he can't, he's not a robot. He can't do the wiggles like forever, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As much as we'd love to, he has been doing it forever. He's been doing it since I was little. So I get it, but we've got to set up our new generation. And it seems like not a lot of people are that open-minded to what the new generation looks like.
Yeah, you're spot on there, and it was blatant at the Arias. But what I will say is that, as I said, 98% of the night was great. Loved working with Sony Music, had the time of my life, felt fabulous in my, white suit. I felt like I was getting married to the Australian music industry.
Don't cheat on me, bitch.
I know, right?
If you actually took me to the Arias, I know that we would have had the best night because we definitely did have the best weekend before that. So
we did.
I think it's your fault.
Well, look, if we went to the ARIA Awards, I think we would have had to behave a little bit better. I was very well behaved. I hardly was intoxicated, and I was home in bed by 1:30. So, that's a very, very, very good night in terms of the ARIA Awards. A lot of my friends stayed out until, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, nah, bye, I'm going home, going to bed. But do you think we would have been able to do our little dare game at the ARIAs?
You know what? On Monday night when we climbed into bed at like 4 a.m. or whatever time it was when we were out.
Monday morning, yeah.
This is my thing, right? And I was unpacking because I was like, why did I have so much fun with you? Not saying I question our fun. Just, I'm in this like era, this like healing era where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to find what my fun is. And that night I had like the best fun. We were being silly. We were doing like truth or dare. And like, I was like, I haven't played this game in ages.
But also looking at you and just seeing you like have your moment, like you were on fire. Like you were dancing. You were so like, I felt like your energy was so like it was just like light. You just were floating around like having a great time. But you were dancing and talking to everyone.
The thing was, right, I was in my element because I was with queer people. There was no judgment. I could be myself. No one, absolutely no one was like out to get me or out to take photos of me. This is the thing, and this is why I have a hard time of going out, because every time I'm out, even if I'm at the shops, even if I'm at a meeting, like wherever I am in public, someone takes a photo of me or video of me and it's like, I don't know where they're uploading it. I don't know who they're sending it to. And so I have like this utter fear of like being out, even if I'm just doing mundane things like groceries, honestly. And so for me, I can't go out and have drinks with my friends and have fun because I'm just so fearful that someone's going to video me. It's going to be taken out of context. It's going to be like, you know what I mean? Like I just want to live my best life and I just want to dance with my friends, but I can't do that sometimes. Like I don't feel like I can do that. And for me, when I was with you on the weekend, I felt like in a queer-friendly space, no judgment, everyone just loved everyone. I loved everyone. I was just like, this is what fun should be like.
But we really did have a ball, and like I think that like because we're so comfortable with each other, it's also just like there's no pretentiousness. It's just like we are who we are. We're going to have a ball, and if we fall up a step and drop 2 glasses of alcohol, that is fine.
Maddie knows this. Is that if people spill their drinks or if people bump me or if people fall, that's the 3 things that I hate about like clubbing and going out to the nightclubs. Like I just can't deal with that energy. Like, I'm like, pull your shit together, people. I did all 3 of those things in like one sitting. My drink went over my head, the one went forward, and I just feel like dropped to the floor. I was just thinking like, and I just got up and I just laughed. I just
and
laughed
you
at
reenacted
myself.
it about 5 times and then just started twerking. So it's obviously like, you know, getting to the end of party season. Well, it's still in party season. Christmas parties are happening.
No, silly season has just started. What are you on about? No.
Well, I think this week I'm going to be very zen.
I had a full circle moment actually because Christmas is coming and Christmas is always very traumatizing for me. I think I didn't have a lot of good Christmases with my my mum. My mum obviously struggled quite a bit and we didn't have a lot of money. But when I stayed with my dad, Christmases always looked very different. And so when Christmas comes around, I'm always just like, this just feels like I'm kind of always, I secretly am the Grinch, but I know that Christmas is not about adults. I think it's more about the children. And so I think about my nephews and think, wow, okay, well, you know, like I need, you know, Christmas is about them. And so I love spoiling them and seeing them smile and seeing them happy. And this takes me back to last year, which was probably the most traumatizing Christmas that I've ever had. I spent Christmas by myself alone. My ex-boyfriend decided to leave at 6:30 in the morning to drive to Brisbane. We had broken up at the first time and I was like devastated. I just like shut down emotionally and I just spent Christmas literally on the couch watching Christmas movies by myself. I didn't open a single present. I looked at the tree with like, you know, and so for me it's like so, you know, it's already sad. It's already got some like sad memories, but I like want to like, you know, like really shake that. And so I'm kind of thinking, well, silly season, like if you're feeling lonely, like I just feel like I need to be around really good people this year, this Christmas and, you know, into the new year. I'm like dating myself. I'm making a pledge that I'm going to date myself and just like do what I need to do for me.
Yeah.
Because last year over Christmas and New Year, which is also then my birthday, I had the most fucked week of my life. I spent Christmas by myself. I then found out I was fucking pregnant. I then got dumped over New Year. So I just don't – like I look at my life now in a full year and everything that I've achieved and I'm like, you know what? This is a full circle moment because look at me now and I'm not maybe healed, but I'm at the start of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm single, living my best life. Christmas is about family. It's about getting together. It's about the kids. And so I was like, shit, okay, I've got to buy like all these gifts for the kids because every year we don't even buy gifts for one another. Well, usually I do for my family because I'm like, I go above and beyond for them. But every year it's about the nephews and nieces and the children.
Yes.
And so I was like, I would quote myself to be the best gift giver.
I love that.
Like I like thoughtful gifts. I like shit that you're going to use and you have for like ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, what are the worst gifts you've ever received or a gift that you've gifted that you know that is shit but you still gift it?
So with my ex's family, we do Kris Kringle every year, right? So which is super cute. We also do gifts for the immediate family. So there's a lot of pressure when Christmas came around because it felt like we had to buy everyone a gift and then also do a Kris Kringle, which I like. Let me tell you, the last like 5 years, having been in, you know, Paulie's family and having Christmas with them has been beautiful. Like they go above and beyond. I so got into the Christmas spirit, like his family and that and the way that they operate around Christmas. I like really love. So I'm gonna miss that this year. I'm already sad about it. But the gift one time, his cousin, it was Chris. It was like a Kris Kringle, and his cousin got him a present, but didn't get me a present. So she said that the present was for both of us, and it was like, I'm pretty sure it was like a one person thing, but she was like, I got it for both of you, and then the next year I got her a shit gift.
So you spitefully, like, she get you a shit gift and then so you bought her a shit gift?
Look, my shit gift would have been still nicer than her shit gift, but, like, love her. But, yeah, I forget what it was, but it was something like, it was something that wasn't practical to split. And she was like, oh, I got you both that. Like, it was like, that's not how it works. Like, a one T-shirt.
You can have one sleeve, one.
Yeah. Cut it in half. But I'm actually feeling like a little bit sad about Christmas this year because, like, I'm so used to decorating our house. Like, you should have seen our house. I go to the, like, nth degree with the decorations to the point where we had a warehouse full of decorations that I would, like, get out every year, like pallets, forklift pallets, and I would decorate our whole house and have, like, a Christmas party and, like, it looked like when you walk into the shopping mall and everything's like Christmas. That's how I would do our place.
I've been watching these videos and it's like, all I want for Christmas.
Yeah, it's Camila Cabello when she's like, I'm going something for Christmas. And then she did a TikTok to pay herself out, and I was like, love that for you.
I die every time.
I don't know about, like, Christmas this year. I'm really umming and ahhing whether to go home and have it with the family or whether to, like, literally just do, like, an orphan Christmas and have it with all my friends in Sydney who aren't going home.
I once hosted a orphan Christmas.
An orphan Christmas.
Oh my God. No.
If I was Santa's little help, I'd be saying, Merry Christmas.
You'd be a sexy little Santa.
Little elf?
Yeah, you would be.
Oh no, Chae's going to turn this into a video. I'm putting my hands down, not doing any actions.
I feel like we're both being bloody, we need some self-love over Christmas. Yeah. But we're going to see family, which is good. I'm going to Broome with my family, which is amazing. And
are you doing New Year's there?
Yes, I am.
See, I'm thinking about, like, inviting myself and flying to Broome.
Christmas at the Rowie. Woo!
At the Rowie. Woo! What's the Rowie?
It's like the only pub that they have
at the Rowie. Yeah.
So this Christmas is going to be special for me because considering from the shit that I went through last Christmas, even to the point where, like, there was gifts given, but then there was take back. True as God. Like, not even joking you. Like,
They asked for the gift back?
No, babe, they just took them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they stole what was rightfully yours.
Basically, yeah.
Well, if it's been given to you and you rightfully own that and then they take that, that's stolen.
Yeah. Practically.
Wow.
My family and I, we're not focused on the gifts. It's more about, like, the actual family time. And, like, I'm feeling like I just in that era of, like, loving myself and I have waited basically a whole year to spend, like, Christmas together with my family. And so
I'm so happy for you. I'm excited for you to get home and, like, feel that love from them.
And there's not many of us, Nyon. There's only, like, me, my 3 brothers, my brother's partner, and my nephew. And that's literally it. Like, that's how
but that's
small
beautiful.
we are,
At least you get quality time. You don't have to stretch your time across, heaps of family members. Last year, I threw a whole Christmas party for my family and there was over 60 people.
Wow.
And I hired a massive mansion in Tamworth and had everyone over and, like, decorated it, catered it, like, did everything for them. And there was 60 people, like, more than 60 people. But this year I'm not doing anything for anyone.
Amen. A video that I was watching about a woman, and she went to her partner's parents' house and they, like, ate and drank and so the partners have, like, a shared spreadsheet of, like, all their expenses. And I think that's really important if in a relationship, if you have, like, houses or like I have a house, babies, you know, and you've been living together for a while. Like it's, you know, share the load. I get it. He sends her this spreadsheet and she goes, babe, like, what's breakfast? Like 3:23. And he goes, it's the banana and toast you had at my mum's house. And she's like, and he was dead set serious. Like she's in this video, she's saying she's dead set serious. She's like, this guy wanted to charge me $3 for a banana and a piece of Wonder Bread.
Oh my life.
And I was just like losing it laughing because I was just like, that is just the pettiest thing I've ever heard in my life. But
that is petty LaBelle.
$3 for a banana and toast. And so she paid him. And I was thinking like all the shit boyfriends and girlfriends that I have had that have done this same shit, this petty shit that I'm just like, I cannot deal. This guy bought me Birkenstocks, took them back. This guy bought me a Cartier ring for my birthday, took it back. I was like, I don't want to date someone who is such a tight ass. Like, or I don't want to be with someone who is just...
How do you test the waters though? How do you like find out if someone's a tight ass? Do you think it's sort of in those first few dates you figure out like if they will pay or want to split?
Yeah, I reckon. Like, do you split the bill?
I haven't dated enough, but I'm so not in that headspace. I'm very much like... I don't even want to think, you know, when you get to dating someone and then you start to think about like what they're doing, like fuck that off. Thank you. No one slide into the DMs, not open to it. Like stay away. Thanks. Big love.
Maddie, do you have a not so PG moment this week?
A not so PG moment. I mean, look, my socials, I think people are getting wind of the fact that I'm single Pringle because my socials have been going off. And I don't like it. Stay away. Like,
oh, you've had lots of people sliding in your DMs.
Yeah, but I don't respond.
The floodgates have opened.
I don't respond. And I also, I find it hard to track, like... I find it hard to track who likes me, but like you would know this, big hundreds of thousands of followers, but I can't keep up with the amount of like
attention he's getting. Oh my god!
No, it's not attention.
I'm getting so much attention. But dicks are flying at me. Oh.
No, but I'm single and but I'm not ready to mingle. Like I just don't have it in me. Like stay away.
Yeah.
And you know,
you're healing.
And I also just I don't want to think about anyone else in terms of like I just don't want to even have to think about like, oh, are they going to talk to me? Like are they going to text me? Are they going to like I don't want to get to that point in my life anytime soon where I start to think about what the other person's doing. Thanks for the love you mob, but like yeah.
Oh, shit.
What's your not so PG moment?
Actually, it happened last night.
Oh.
My housemate and I were, we're a couple of single gals in the house now. We were talking about condoms and the different types you can get. And we're like, what's the best? And like, you know, how. But also the act of like, doing things like buying condoms for me is really awkward as well. Like I've done it a couple of times. My housemate feels the same. It's just like an awkward process of like going to the shop and buying them. I don't know. Am I just like immature?
I think what's really funny here is that like, why are you buying the condoms?
Because I am all about safe sex, no regrets, babe.
Oh, God. Well, you know, because obviously like a majority of my sex has been with a male, I always think it's up to the man to be able to provide the condom and like it should be. And so that's why I'm like, it's interesting. But you know what? You're just prepared. You're like, if anything goes down, I'm prepared to wrap that shit up.
If I'm having sex or, you know, I want it to be safe. I'm like, I work with young kids and I preach to them, you know, safe sex, consent, all those things.
Yep.
So I need to practice what I preach. Anyways, I found a article about the list of different condoms, list of condoms for different reasons.
Okay.
And there is just like, I was amazed at the range, right?
Oh,
it's like
oh my
from
gosh, I'm looking at it right now.
Ribbed, warming, sensitive,
Prolonging.
prolonging,
Snug fit, larger, sex toys, non-latex, sensitive, lubricated, for the environment, custom fit, internal fit, dental dam. What the fuck is a dental dam?
Dental dams. I've actually got a dental dam near me, actually. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so dental dams, they're these sheer sheets.
Yep.
And you can use them over the vagina. So you can actually like put this and then, you can use it so that, you're not spreading STIs or disease or
Look at how you just stretch it like that.
condoms are obviously a bit more efficient. But that's what that's what a dental dam is.
I feel uncomfortable buying condoms but also lube. If I was going to buy condoms and good lube, you go to a sex store because then there's no judgment.
Going to sex shops is also like very awkward.
Yeah. I really want to actually get into sex toys. Like I haven't really done it. I've been
Maybe
very...
that's your not so PG action.
Oh, okay. Should I buy a sex toy this
It's not
week?
a moment. Yeah,
Okay.
you should buy a sex toy
Okay,
this week.
I'll bring it for show and tell next week on the last episode of Not So PG. How about that?
Done. Oh my God, we're nearly done with this season. Crazy. Anyways, that's my not so PG moment, is buying condoms and realizing that there is a condom for any type of pleasure and any type of person.
I love that.
Maybe I should just design my own condoms.
Oh, that's good. Not So PG condoms. That's our merch. That's merch season 2 coming at ya.
Or just...
What?
I was going to say something.
Dildos.
No.
Not So PG dildos. We could do a whole line of sex toys. Let's do it.
Anyways, on that moment.
Well, I think that's all we have time for today.
Thank you so much for listening to Not So PG. Obviously, if you love us and love our shit banter and our good conversations, give us a 5-star rating and a little review wouldn't go astray.
Yes, and if you want to tell us something, make sure you follow us on socials and do slide into the DMs. But even though I told you not to, you can still slide in. It's just, will I reply or not?
You can follow him at It's Matty Mills, myself at Brooke.Blurton, and if you want to follow and look at other podcasts, at Nova Podcast Official.
Bye, lovelies.
Bye.